the all-new Yamaha V6 Offshore F350. It's a featherweight knockout, the lightest 350 horsepower outboard on the water, exhilarating boating and incredible control in a powerfully light design. The Yamaha V6 Offshore F350.
Hey, tune into the weekly video fishing forecast this week for a preview of the June glossy issue of the Fisherman magazine, some slip gut, mysterious slip gut from around the island, an open boat piece from Jenni, and those reports leading up to Memorial Day weekend.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Before we get into the reports, just want to let you guys know we're at Saltwater's Bait and Tackle in West Islip. They're super conveniently located off the Robert Moses Causeway over here. They got everything you need if you're going to go fishing this Memorial Day weekend. Stop on and see these guys on the way to Robert Moses Beach. They have everything you want from boat fishing to surf fishing. Check these guys out. Today's May 23rd, and the fishing news of the week is this algae bloom, also known as slip gut to many. Tim C. Smith is going to tell us some more about it.
Yeah, Matt, the Great South Bay is inundated with this hairy style type yucky algae. It just seems to be all over the place. The minute you drop your line down, your line is just full of algae, your lure, your bait. It's making it almost impossible to fish. I put a call into Chris Gobler of Stony Brook University, who is an expert on this subject, but I have yet to hear back from him. But in the meantime, I've spoke to Captain Lorenzetti, who is a retired biology teacher, and he had this to say.
Yeah, Tim, slip gut is a big problem this year. It has been, I can remember back at least 8-10 years. And it's always in the springtime. Slip gut is a filamentous algae. And of course, plants all grow well with nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus. So the runoff in our bays from the groundwater, from fertilizers and so forth, that's not helping the situation. Of course, sun helps it to grow. So it's a filamentous algae, and it just thrives until water temperatures get up to about 70, 71 degrees. Then it kind of, I don't know if it just generates so much energy that it kind of burns itself out. It ends up floating up on the top in carpets, and then the next windy day it just disintegrates it and it's gone because it's no longer in its optimal growing temperature. And then we're free of it until the next year. Springtime every year it seems to happen the same way.
Al, with all this algae around that makes it so difficult to fish, do you have any tips to fish when this algae is present?
All right, what tips do I have for fishing with these conditions? There are areas where it is not so bad. I've been fishing, let's say, near the inlet on top of the flood, the beginning of the ebb, it's fairly clean. Ocean water comes in. On the last of the outgoing, it's terrible. The slip gut then moves towards the inlet. Up in the middle bay areas, off of Babylon, Lindenhurst, West Islip, Bayshore, it's horrible. And very difficult for fishing. It covers your line, your hooks, your bait, and it's a pain in the butt to take it off. Also, I found further east in the bay, let's say from like back by Ocean Beach and further east, it's not nearly as bad as it is further to the west. So there are places and times in a tide that you can fish where it won't be as a big problem, but it is a big problem. And then we need temperatures warming. When it hits 70, it's going to be gone.
Matt, from the Great South Bay in West Babylon, back to you.
As I mentioned before, the June glossy issue of Fisherman magazine is out now, and we're going to do a little preview for you of what's in the local section of the magazine. We've got Besting the Regs, bigger backwater flatties. That piece was by me, teaches you how to find those bigger backwater keepers. Peconic Bay Delights, keep the party going. That's by Tony Salerno. Peconic Bay is a hot place this time of the year. Be sure to check it out. You're guaranteed almost to catch. Then, Around the Island, June Striper Spotlighting. That's by Mark Sadati. He touches upon all the best spots to fish during the month of June for striped bass. Don't forget about that freshwater. Tom Melton, nothing but topwater in the freshwater for Long Island largemouths. Harbor Chase, Learn Manhasset Bay. That one's by Doc Muller. If you like fishing Manhasset, take a look at this piece. We've got another open boat piece this week from Jenni. It's on fishing Meadow Lips. Jenni.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Open Boat. Today we're here at Striper Quest, the captain's meeting, and we're here with Captain Chris of Rockfish Smarty, and he has been slaying big stripers on metal lip swimmers, and he's going to give you a little rundown on how to fish different types of metal lips. So we got some examples here.
All right, here we go. I have Z-Shore. This is not a very deep diver. It goes around 5-6 feet. If you bend the nose, this round circle right here, just up. Up means down, so if you bend it up, it'll go deeper. If you bend it down, it'll go shallower. I like this in Rowden Bay, shallow water, like under 15 feet. And bunker color, one of my go-tos.
That's one of the big things a lot of people forget is they'll try to bend the lip themselves, but you got to bend the eyelid.
Right, never. I almost never touch the lip if I don't have to, almost never. The eye only. Maybe change the hooks if you want to go to a heavier hook, that's fine. C80 C's are great deep diver, great for in the ocean, like 50 feet of water, 40 feet of water. It'll dive down to 18 to 20. So what I like to do is when I cast this out, get a couple of 5-6 real fast cranks, get that plug down as deep as you can, and then a nice steady retrieve. Maybe a pause here and there if they're being a little finicky. And yep, nice and deep. And my third favorite, well, not my third favorite, but another favorite, Salty Degenerate. Guy's hot off the press. This guy's making sick plugs. Same thing, deep. I hit bottom in 18 feet of water with this plug. I really don't have to touch anything. It swims so good out of the box. But if you want to, like again, bend the eye up a little bit if you want to go a little deeper. Multiple fish in the ocean, like 40-pound fish, no problem. You see his Instagram, it's amazing. And that's it. Those are my faves.
All right, so that's really informative. Like I know a lot of people have no clue with how to adjust a plug or how to fish different shapes of metal lips, so that was really helpful, and hopefully get some guys on some big fish this season.
That's it, throw them. Thank you.
Fishing's heating up. We're getting some entries. Dreamboat and Coastal Kayak Clash. Let's check in with Tim C. Smith.
And now, the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge entries for the week. We received 2 new entries. The first is Rashawn Williams of Brooklyn, whose 2.08-pound porgy places third in the porgy category. Glenn Matern of Pennsylvania entered a 2.46-pound sea robin, placing him in first place in the sea robin category. This entry was larger than Anthony Savino's first place sea robin, knocking him down 1 point. Anthony still commands the first place position with 19 total points with fluke, bluefish, porgy, and weakfish. Second place is Frank Shea, and in third place is Glenn Matern. Remember, you have to be a Fisherman subscriber to enter. To be part of the Dreamboat Challenge, you must be a Fisherman subscriber. You get all the details at thefisherman.com. Now the latest from the Coastal Kayak Clash. It was a big week in the CKC with 6 fish hitting the leaderboard. We had a sizable weakfish caught by Mike Radzowiski from Massachusetts with a 27.75-inch weakfish. CKC regular Tom Howard from Rhode Island had a 34.5-inch bluefish. New Jersey's Gregory Vergere logged a solid 22-inch fluke. Massachusetts 2-time champ Justin Oser nailed a 19.25-inch sea bass. And we had 2 big stripers. Ken Stark boated a 44-incher and Bob Wagner netted a category-leading 45-incher. The top 3 looks like this. Bob Wagner has third place with 3 points. Mike Radzowiski holds second place with 5 points, and Justin Oser continues to impress with 9 points. To be part of the Coastal Kayak Clash, you must be a Fisherman subscriber. Get all the details at thefisherman.com.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
Now let's check in with some upcoming events. From June 1st to July 5th is the Surf Rats Ball Fishing Tournament. That's a catch and release tournament. Then June 3rd is a District 3 boating course. June 7th is the Manhattan Cup Catch and Release Striper Tournament. Visit manhattancup.com for more information on that. And June 8th is the first annual Grand Slam Striper Tournament. Check thefisherman.com/events for more details. Got a bunch of pictures in this week. Let's head over to the map, see what we've been hearing. Central North Shore mackerel. I talked about those Boston mackerel last week. Will Nash, he confirmed it with this one right here. John Nuzzi, he shows off a 26-inch fluke. Caught this last Saturday. He was a little east of Jessup's in Peconic Bay. Remember those flukes show up this time of the year? Got to get on them. They chase the bait right in. Take a look at that area for fluking. Michael and Quinn, they caught these giant bluefish over in Reynolds Channel last Friday. He said the blues were hitting anything we threw at them. Top water was the choice of the day. It was a fun day. Jackie shows off a beautiful Long Island striped bass caught out of Mount Sinai in the Long Island Sound. I heard there's a lot of striped bass in that area. Take a look over there if you want to get into some stripers. On the South Shore surf in an undisclosed location. Get a hold of this one. Jay Miller caught this redfish, quality redfish after dark from the Long Island surf, undisclosed location. Got to keep that one a secret. Tom Hipner, he reports in again from the Central South Shore with a striper on the sand beach on a green diamond jig during the day. Rob Bresloff caught a 33-inch striped bass. He caught that near Mastic Beach from the shore on the bay side. He said they were using darters and SP minnows for good catches. Tom Russo, he reported in, he had an 11-pound IGFA record stargazer. Congratulations, Tom. It's a pretty unique catch, but congratulations nonetheless. I myself went down to Patchogue Dock. I got in on that bluefish action. The fish were there as soon as I showed up in the evening. Local Ralph, he caught this 10-plus pounder on a bunker chunk right in front of me. Nice job, Ralph. Those fish are showing up in the evening, high tide. Got to get on them as well. If you do have a notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I'll try and get into the weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine. Rich Von Ohlen's weather and fishing report is brought to you by Premium Bucktails. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We'll check that weekend forecast. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got. This is a general heads-up, general overview on the upcoming holiday weekend. So some good news out this week in the back bays. Back to the topwater plugging, and some of the schoolie bass were there. Between about 24 and 27 inches. Nice fish coming up on the topwater plug, so we had a blast back there. Some of the back bays, we had good tide, you had good conditions with the fog, light breeze, and it's always a blast to see these topwater plugs get hit by these back bay schoolie bass. Good times. Hopefully that continues throughout the next few days and several weeks for that matter. All right, a little warmer this week. Water temps starting to come up, 50s, 60s, so we're edging up there in the right direction. Friday's map looks great. Dry northwest, light breezes into Saturday. Start to get a little onshore fog and mist perhaps for Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Overall, though, the wind doesn't look too bad. The only day it looks like a little suspect in terms of weather will be Memorial Day on Monday with some rain and some wind. So Saturday, not bad. Southeast, 5 to 10, not too bad. A little south breeze light on Sunday. Some of that rain to the northwest, probably at night going into part of Monday. The waves on the ocean, the sound look good both days, Saturday and Sunday, so I think it's fishable. A little mist, little fog, watch out for some of that. Temps, not bad, 60s, 70s, variety across the island with the sea breeze coming in. Same deal going into Sunday, a little extended guru for you there. Don't see much wind, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Late in the day and evening, some breezes on shore. Only day, Monday, Memorial Day, with perhaps a persistent south-southeast breeze. So all looking good here for the weekend weather deal Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So watch out for some of the fog, some of the mist, but overall the ocean sound should be good, and the wind's overall fairly light. So liking what I'm seeing, the fishing's picking up, the weather's settling down. Enjoy, catch them up, have a wonderful weekend. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Well, everybody, greetings from Montauk. We got a good week of bass fishing out here. That's the hot report for the week. Will came all the way from Sage headquarters in Washington State. How's the fishing, Will?
Absolutely incredible.
Well, fluking's kind of lukewarm, so I would suggest your Memorial Day weekend is dedicated to striped bass. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Thank you. Let that thing go.
From Sag Harbor, we have Will and Andy.
Thanks, Matt. Report this week out of Sag Harbor.
Porgies are starting to obviously continue to get better and better. Better signs of weakfish too in the bay, in the Peconic, and locally around us in Sag Harbor, which is awesome. And obviously each day we have more and more reports and firsthand action of gator bluefish on the flats, poppers, plugs, honestly anything you throw at them at this point. So it's obviously it's an exciting time, and spring is here, and we're making our way into summer with Memorial Day weekend right around the corner.
Thanks, Will and Matt. So also around Sag Harbor, striped bass bite has continued to remain pretty strong. Pretty nice fish, upwards of even 25 pounds, even in 30 caught in the area. So really excited about that. Again, both on top water and also jigging on the bottom, whether that be bucktails or diamond jigs, etc. Unfortunately, the fluking has not been as great, but we're hoping that picks up soon. And then lastly, still watching those giant bluefin, even though the season is closed, still fun to go after them, of course. And as they work their way east, and hoping for some smaller fish, those keeper sushi size, as they come in closer. So back to you, Matt.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. There's some pretty good fishing going on, but it is a lot of work to find them, and but when it happens, it's been pretty good. Yesterday, a friend of mine found that out, that with this lack of bunker that a lot of other areas have experienced as well, it's kind of a head scratcher for this time of year, but people are making do and catching fish. There's bass, big blues around, and as my buddy found out yesterday, after snagging a bunker off, the only pod seemed to be around her in some deeper water. He was in about 15 feet, drifting a bunker, and what had to have been a 500-pound probably giant bluefin, got it and took him for a ride. He chased it, he got line back, he lost line, and then finally it popped off with that last little bit of drag. So unbelievable fishing story to have heard from a good fishing buddy, and quite a thrill. So there's some big bass. Paul Peluso got into a nice one last couple of days, so if you put the time in, something's good is going to happen there. So it's also a nice kind of class of 20-pound fish that are around. My buddy Matt, his son Aiden, got his personal best 20-pound striper. Way to go, Aiden. You've seen other pictures of Aiden, and Matt is constantly taking his son out fishing. I'm a guy that takes my kid fishing a lot, and it is one of the most rewarding things, and it can be a lot of work, but it's a labor of love. So good job, Matt. Good job, Aiden. Way to go. All right, two things. Friday, June 7th, Manhattan Cup. Find me if you'd like to come. Want more details, you want to donate something, we have a few more weeks, so if you'd like to get involved at all, let me know. The other thing is, Last Cast podcast, that was really cool, Matt, to be sitting down and talking fishing, because we've been talking a lot about this for a while, so I know there's so much more that we have to cover in the fishing world, so it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys can check this out. It's on the YouTube channel, The Last Cast with Matt Broderick and Mike Dean. All right. Back to you, podcaster buddy.
Aloha. Let's check in with Hawaiin Dan.
Thanks, Matt. Aloha, friends. I'm Hawaiin Dan of TalkFishTV.com, reporting for the Fisherman magazine on the central, nearshore, north shore of Long Island. In addition to the grass shrimp and tons of rainbait around, we also have the introduction of mackerel, which is why the flutter spoons have been doing so well. However, that small rainbait is extremely hard to match. So much so that I've broken another personal record of mine with my 4th skunk session in a row. I can't remember the last time that's happened. Even while sitting in over 2-hour nonstop blitz, all I was able to pull off was this little dink, and I don't consider that a success. But the key takeaway here is the introduction of mackerel. So this week I'm going to target them and use them to target the bigger fish and report back to you next week. And that's why we never give up, Long Islanders. Each time you're out there, success or failure, you're learning something new to help you dial things in. So don't give up. Stay positive. Let's get off those couches, grab some friends, and get out there and fish. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Hawaiin Dan or TalkFishTV.com, and I'll do my best to help. Don't forget to sign up for the 2024 Duke of Fluke tournament scheduled for Sunday, June 23rd. For more information, visit allpronational.com. Until next week, stay safe out there, friends. Continue to look out for one another and keep spreading that aloha. Now back to you, Matt.
From Northport, we have Cal Harbor Bait and Tackle.
Hey folks, it's great to see you this week. The fishing's doing really fantastic. You've got like a few different things happening. We've got outside on the Sound, which is like its own world, and then inside the bay, and then inside the harbor. So far, the harbors, I'm not seeing a whole lot of steady action. We're seeing more action in the evening. on some of the points inside the harbor, we do have seen some fluke is starting to go in these little areas where the spearing are coming out, little shedder crabs are coming out. We're going to be looking for probably another worm hatch. Again, we know all the way down to the east, we had that sand eel hatch. So you've got a lot of different fish that are, hatching right now in different stages. So that's what's happening. You get like lonely fish come in, start checking out inside the back bay of the harbors. On the outside of the bay, we've got bass chilling out. Also, weak fish have set up. Seeing a nice weak fish bite. That's usually along like the grass lines. I haven't seen the weak fish move out yet. Weak fish are mainly inside the main bay and inside this different harbors that we have, focusing in on those shrimp and spearing, which are hanging out along the eelgrass. That's a big hint. You want to look at that. Now, on the outside, there's a lot going on in the sound. The sound is still in like the low 50s, so the water's relatively clean. We're looking at a beautiful bass bite, both from the beach and from the boat. So you've got a lot of options, whether it's you're using lures or bait. They're both very effective. Trolling's been doing well. Some people don't enjoy trolling. They set up on the chunk bite, and that is doing just as well. So again, you have a lot of options. Flutter spoons, mojos, umbrella rigs, trolling wire, trolling mojos with braid, just straight out letting your boat drift and casting. That's with the boat action. And then go and do some fluking, because the fluking is doing really well. Those fluke are migrating from the east to the west, so you should see now they're pulling out a bit more. They were heavy in Stony Brook the last couple of weeks, and now they're starting to spread out a little bit towards the west. They're going to find those little hills and set up in little schools and catch these migrating smaller bait fish. So you got a lot of action. You have a lot of room. And we do from Cold Spring Harbor down to Stony Brook is our report area, all the way out to the Sound. So, those bluefish, they have not really shown up there. Bluefish in and out, but you're looking, they're probably set up way out in the middle of this in the Sound there, like they do every year. And then they start going into their spawning phase, which is a really interesting thing to see, but another subject for another day. You want to get out there and have a good time. This Memorial Day, it's all about the veterans. Thank you very much for your sacrifice. We're speaking about veterans. We've got Operation Real Heroes, June 14th. And that's a huge thing here, and comes out of Huntington Harbor. And we've got so many local boat captains, charter guys, private people, all just doing our best to create a wonderful event. So as always, thank you for supporting our family business, and I bid you peace and tight lines.
From Huntington, Gaige Simon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Captain Gaige here, reporting to you from Huntington Harbor, where I fish 7 days a week for SandCityCharter.com. Check it out. Last week I told you it was about to turn on. Well, guess what? It turned on here on the North Shore. Fishing is lights out. Everybody's seeing the pictures of the bass and the videos of the bass that we're posting, so everybody wants to get out on the bass, and we are super grateful. Come on, jump on board. We'll get out there and put you on some bass, no doubt. Friday, 8-hour charter. It's non-stop action all day long. Same thing over the weekend. There were 4-hour charters, but we got on them all day, had a blast. And then Monday, me and Corey said, my first mate, we're going to get out there and check out and prospect some of our fluke spots. So we throw the cast net. We catch some tiny little peanut bunker. We catch 4 and 5 inch spearing, real fat ones. We get out to the fluke spot, and in 10-15 minutes, the next thing you know, bunker are jumping out of the water. We can't resist. We get over there. We throw some top water action. Corey hooks up with a 47-inch bass, 42 to 45 pounds. This thing was a behemoth, and he got it on a St. Croix rod, real light tackle. You see in the video he's getting spooled. And then Tuesday, the same thing. We shoot back out to the same spot. Me and Kenny got out there, and before you know it, I throw a spook the third time, and I'm hooked up. It bent one of the hooks on the spook, and brought in a 44-inch bass, my personal best so far for the year, that came over the rails. A ton of fun. If you guys are looking to get out there, the weak fish bite is real good right now. The fluke bite's real good. Non-stop striped bass action. So the North Shore is on fire. You guys want to get out there and catch some fish, let us know. Sand City Charter. We'll get you out there and put you on some fish. Wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water. Back to you, Matt.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, Captain Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report. Actually pretty good fishing. Bass fishing is excellent. Some problems in certain areas with the slip gut, mostly in the back bay, but further east in the back by Ocean Beach and further east it's fairly clean. By the inlet it's fairly clean, but everywhere else it's kind of a mess. So we got to wait for the water to hit 70 and for that stuff to rot and go away. But fluke fishing is a pick. Striped bass fishing is pretty consistent. And some nice big weak fish. West Channel, Ocean Beach, Hetcher State Park, the fish are like 6 to 9 pounds when you can connect with them. So things are looking up. Memorial Day weekend here. Hope everybody has a wonderful time. We'll be in touch and talk to you next week.
From Jones Beach Bait and Tackle and Captree Bait, Tackle and Fuel, Brendan Rutigliano.
Thanks, Matt. Just want to let everybody know that Captree Fuel Bait and Tackle is now open 6 a.m. to 7 daily, and Jones Beach Bait and Tackle is now open 9 to 7 daily. Guys, big fish everywhere, striped bass, even gorilla blues, all bunker, mackerel, small tins, even bucktails I've been hearing. The local usual spots, not spot burn or whatever, because you can't spot burn a state park, but get out there, and if you need help coming to the shop, we could definitely get you guys on fish. It's just a great time to go fishing for bass and blues. The weather's been holding out, so get out there. This weekend should be awesome, so definitely try and get out there this weekend. And if you want, come to Jones Beach Field 10. It's like a hidden spot for the air show, and you can fish. Fluke, up to like 4 pounds off the beach and piers. Again, great, fishing. The Laura Lee even caught a 7-pound fluke, which was pretty awesome. The ticket to fluke this week has been gulp tipped with a spearing. Try it out. Let me know how it works on the comments. Blowfish have also been hitting. We actually got a couple on Jones Beach. We've also had the Jones Beach piers. We had a couple of fluke this morning. We had a bass, blue. If you want to check out our Instagram, Jones Beach Tackle, come and check out the piers over here. Crabs have started to be coming. The calico ladywood crabs are starting to wake up and everything. Bunker for them in a crab trap. You'll catch a couple. It's not crazy yet, but you'll get out there. And last but not least, weakfish. We've had a couple of the Captree boats been catching them. A couple of the guys on the beach have been catching them. It's not crazy, but if you're trying to get that trophy fish, get out there and fish. You might catch one. Thanks again.
With the Fly in Freshwater Report, Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, we're back at it again. River Bay Outfitters ran a trip here on the Peconic River. It was a beautiful day, boy, and it was like gangbusters. My son, I was very fortunate I got to fish with my son today, and he had a pickerel, crappie, bluegills, bass, sunfish. The only thing we didn't catch any perch. But hey, this is called fishing. We had a great time. 10 people came in, 10 of my friends, and we fished all together. We're about to have a barbecue lunch. It was a great time. Now, if you'd like to join us on any of these trips, please go to River Bay Outfitters and sign up for my newsletter, riverbayoutfitters.com. As far as the saltwater goes, well, Bluefish Joe came in and he told me bluefish. Bluefish are all over the back bays. He was fishing in the Jones Beach area, and he said it was crazy. I'm hearing bluefish all over the island. I'm also hearing from Tim O'Rourke out in Montauk. He's posting on big fish. Big stripers are now moved out. Everything. This is the time of year to get out there while you can. It is, because we have so many options, and do it with a fly rod. So, until next week, tie lines, everybody.
From the Western Sound, Nuno Decosta up in Rye.
Hey guys, Nuno from Tyalure in Rye, New York, giving you the weekly recap. We're back on the 2 and 5. This time we're heading offshore. We heard there's some tuna possibly around. We're going to go explore, and some tilefish. Anyway, the Long Island Sound, western end, striped bass remains very, very good. There's good days and bad days for some guys, but for the majority of the part, striped bass fishing has been very good. A lot of fish still coming up on the umbrella rigs and the mojos, with the occasional flare up on the top water now, which is a little different from weeks prior, and the flutter spoons have been getting better and better every single week as we get more bait new area. Today, guys caught bunker locally, so that's a good sign of things to come. Porgies have been moving closer to us, further to the west every single day. There's some reported right off City Island, so the shore guys should be able to see some very soon. The good thing about the weekly recap is the fluke fishing. Guys are reporting some limit catches, which is great. No big numbers on the fish, but at least they're getting limits. The occasional bluefish still around. And guys, we'll be back next week and hopefully we get some fish offshore. Nuno signing out from Tyalure on a 2-5 in New Rochelle.
Hey guys, this is Rob Greco Jr. from Long Island Outdoorsman giving you today's fishing report. This week has been really hot with the fluke. We've been personally catching fish between 19 and 24 inches in the back bays, between 10 and 16 feet of water on bucktails tipped with gulp. We use a bucktail teaser combo with a gulp on both ends. That's been working really great. Stuff like this, Spro bucktail or any bucktail of your choice, light, 1/2 ounce, 3/8, 3/4 at the most. Colors, again, personal choice, but what we've been using is the pink shine, the smoke, the new penny, and the white. That's been producing really well. As far as stripers and bluefish, there's still plenty around. Really, take your pick on how you want to catch them, whether you want to clam chum the bridge, which is a great way to get beginners their first striper, or if you are skilled enough to catch them on the bucktails, you can cast bucktails against the pilings. That's a great way to do it as well. And most of those fish are slot fish between like 28 and 31 inches, which is a great way to take a fish home if you're looking to eat one. Plenty of big bluefish around. A lot of bluefish are being caught as bycatch while fluke fishing. There's been so many around, you're kind of catching them on accident. But if you target them, you could really, load the boat with bluefish. The piers have been loaded. The back bays by the dock lines, the deep holes way in the back, loaded with bait, loaded with bluefish and stripers too, and weakfish. Still weakfish around. So good luck, guys. Get out there and catch some fish.
Let's head on over to Chris Landry.
Thanks, Matt. Well, the season may have started slowly, but it is picking up. Jamaica Bay is becoming alive. From spearing to bunker to bluefish, the striped bass is picking up in the back and out front. You can catch bigger personal best bass. We're booking trips on Rocksteady for those personal best bass. Also, the Manhattan Cup is coming up June 7th. Rocksteady will be defending the title we won last year. The Manhattan Cup is a great tournament which benefits veterans. Follow them on Instagram, the Manhattan Cup. Follow Mike Dean for more information. Sign up if there's still room. And also sign up for the next Fishing the Atlantic Gypsy Charters Tournament, June 22nd. There's going to be a lot of prizes, cash, rods, coolers, and tackle, and all that good stuff. So follow Fishing the Atlantic, June 22nd on Gypsy Charters. Get out there, have a good time, and win some big prizes. All right, be safe out there. Peace.
Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post new videos on YouTube. Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and their social media pages. Don't forget this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Music. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast and our other content. So we're finally getting the weather we needed. The water's warming up. It's getting the fish chewing. But don't forget, it's Memorial Day weekend. Let's honor our vets. Keep them in mind. That's the true purpose behind this weekend. But get out there fishing, have fun with friends and family, and be safe on the water. We will see you next week.